Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the fluff you are. And welcome to, as you've seen by the title, probably down there actually, is the Random Ramble Catch-Up, since this is in place of what I may or may not have actually originally planned to have been here, because I was away over the weekend and did not get a chance to film anything beforehand. So this is basically at a spare of the moment and ad hoc thing. So I was away, if that will show up on there, at the regional championships in Birmingham this year for the Pokemon events. So that's Pokemon Go, the video game, and the TCG. Now I wasn't competing, I was there cheering on a friend of mine who was competing. So yes, it was very loud, very tiring. I'm full of the COVID, whatever you want to call it, crud, basically the bug or the lurgy that you get at the conventions when there's a lot of people there, because a lot of the time you forget to drink a lot of the stuff, and most of the time when you are drinking, it's alcohol, especially on the after parties and the fan meets and stuff like that. Everybody gets sloshed. So yeah, holding my voice to where I want to hold it is a bit difficult at the moment, so I am letting it roll down a little bit, just because it hurts a lot to try to keep it up high. But yeah, it was in the NEC, so it was obviously a big space. Now, anyone that knows the NEC knows how close it is to the airport, so a lot of the hotels, you could hear the planes landing and taking off, so that was very interesting, because I've never slept overnight at a hotel that's next to an airport, so learning experience for me. It was an incredible event. The guy, one of the people that actually beat my friend, was the eventual winner of that competition, which is amazing. So that's brilliant. We'd seen the guy, the winner, go through, so he's now got the invite to the finals in Anaheim, California, which is a positive. Maybe if there is a regionals next year, I will go and I will compete on that, so that could be a good thing on there. Now that I've got that bit of the introduction out of the way, you know, it was an insane thing. It was incredible. It was very expensive. Very expensive. Let's just say that. Prices there are quite high, but then again, I am a northerner, so obviously I'm going to complain about pricing. But let's just roll on to the next thing, which is what's going to be happening next. So I will be trying to film as much as I can for what's going on around the town centre, because I haven't been there, I haven't really seen much of what's going on, but I do know by travelling past that work is happening. So from what I had seen, there was machines in and out of the site, and a few areas have been moved and looked at. So I will be looking further into that when I go down, I think next week, to film more, because I haven't got much footage. Actually, I haven't got any other footage for this year so far. So all of next week's video will be all of what's going on there and whatever's going on down at the college. If anything's happened down there, I will film that too. So that will be going on there. The idea with more abandoned or disused buildings, that will be happening at some point. There is one place I do want to film, but I need the weather for that and I need the time for that. So there is that one. Also, the question on time as well is, because I've been applying for more jobs, one of the jobs that I am looking at, or possibly may or may not have got, because I'm still waiting to find out yet, will be taking me further afield than at home. So there will be a few days where I won't be home. So finding footage and stuff will be a bit difficult. So some of those things might actually end up being filmed while I'm away at that place. I'm not naming it because of agreements that will happen at some point, but let's just say it's a major place and it is by the coast. Those of you who I have told, shh, no comments. Comment on other things, just don't mention that. But I mean, there is bits with that. Now, along with the jobs, some of the other jobs I am doing are going further into Manchester, or going back home to Chorley, or closer to Preston. So there is a few things around those that may or may not happen. So some videos might just become wandering ideas of wherever they go. Other things might fall into the randomonium path and just be a whatever, because there might be a movie review or another like food review or drink review or something that could go in there. So you never know. Those may or may not happen. The job may or may not happen. We'll all find out. Now, as for rugby and football, now I'm going to concentrate here just more on the rugby, but I will see if I can get to some of the football games, then I will do. But none of them really at the moment take my fancy. And the only one really that I want to try and get to is Wigan versus Wrexham, just so I can do that, you know, just so I can say I've watched Wigan play Wrexham. That's really it. There isn't really that many games in there that take my fancy. I have explained it before. Yes, I don't mind football, but I do prefer rugby. Sorry if that annoys people, but I do prefer rugby. I've always preferred rugby. That's just how it is. Now, I am trying to get to the first game of the season, which is the season opener, Wigan versus Leigh. So I believe that is a Thursday night. So I will hopefully be trying to get a ticket in the next couple of days, once I've worked out the money situation, because being in Birmingham, you spend a lot of money, and I have spent a lot of money. End of on that one. I will be trying to do a few more away days as well this season, if I can. So possibly one of the Hull games. So either FC or KR. Now, a few people have said KR when I'm asked about. Others have said FC because, well, the stadium is an all-enclosed one. So, you know, like that. A few people have said go to Leeds. But I don't really know whether I want to risk the weather in Leeds, because you know what the weather's like in Britain, never mind weather in Leeds, especially with it being an open terrace. Now, yes, okay, the terrace at Wyre is a terrace, but it is enclosed. Now, I'm not complaining or anything, but I am saying I'm used to having enclosed stadiums. Plus, yeah, I don't really know. It depends on the timing. So it depends on time and money really, and whether I can actually get there or not. So we will see. The possibility I might be going back to Wyre. Could be going hopefully one of the derby games between Wigan and Saints, whether that's at home or away at Saints. I'm not going to Vegas, and I'm definitely not going to be going to France. I don't have a passport, and I definitely don't have the money for that. Even if I had a job, I still wouldn't have the money for it, because I'd be spending a lot of my money on other things like driving license and a car. So I do have priorities there. There could be guests on some of those rugby vlogs. So whether it is Revo, who has been in a few vlogs in the previous seasons, or another friend of mine who doesn't really like sports but has said that they would have a go at watching rugby just to see what it's like. So it would be interesting to see what their views on it is, especially because, I mean, it is brutal, but we will see what they think about that. To be honest, beyond that, I don't really know. Some of the travel vlogs might come back, so the random things where it's like I find a place and I travel to it, so I give you the thing from the train station or wherever to there, little bits on the train, other things when I get to that location, wander around, yada yada yada. There might be random things on locations, so things back in Manchester. If I go back to Mozzie, I might do some more of that, because I know I wanted to do that a couple of years ago, but never did, so that could come in. I might even do one if I go back to Sheffield and go back to the gender clinic. So rolling in with that, the vocal videos will continue. Those will be once a month, so those will be carrying on. I haven't had anything yet through about the extended vocal training that I would be doing probably back on site or over a camera. I haven't had any news from that. I haven't had any news from the clinic in general about other things, but you never know. Those things could be in the pipeline. I might get a letter tomorrow that stipulates something, so hey, you never know. Beyond that, I don't really know, but I think I've prattled on for long enough. So if you do want to say anything or have any comments about like any games to go to, any stadiums to visit, any cities or towns to visit for any of the other stuff, any ideas for what movies to watch for the reviews, any beers or any like other weird pies, because like I did that that all day breakfast pie, stick it all down below. If you do like the content that I am creating, then give it a like. If you want to help with the quest to 500, sorry I'm stumbling over my words here, if you want to help with the quest to 500, then give us a sub. Every sub is likable and appreciated. Even if you don't like it and you want to give us a thumb down is still an interaction, so it all helps. Anyway, I will sign out for now. Remember, always practice good mental health. You only get out of life what you put into it, so if you put the minimum in, you will only get the minimum back. Don't give yourself a brain aneurysm. Peace out and goodbye.